Recording.
Yeah, it is required by law that we do this and post it, so anyway, so. Well, we want to thank you three parents who showed up. We've had 10 that was, said they would, but of course we always know things come up and they don't make it. So I would like first for everybody to introduce themselves, and I'll start with myself. I'm Sally McCutcheon. I'm the Director of Nurses for the Rances Pass ISD. I've been here 44 years. I am retiring this year. And this is
Connie Campbell.
She's
Marshall
a
nurse.
And
My name's April Patterson, and I have 2 children here in the district.
and what principal recommended you?
Miss Picarossi.
Ms. Picarossi.
And my name is Socorro Montemayor. I'm co-director for food service. I've been working 22 years.
I'm Sherwin Amacher, and I have way too many kids in the school district. So,
And I'm Wayne Bennett, the Assistant Superintendent. This is my 20th year in the district, 37 in education. And we appreciate y'all being here for the first meeting.
And this is Cindy Mann. She's also in food services.
I'm Corey Del Santos. I have 2 kids in the school district and got invited to be on this, I guess, or voluntold to be on this, I guess is my best way to say it.
What principal?
I think Principal King, Principal. I don't have too many run-ins with him, so I don't know his name, but I'm pretty sure that's him. Yeah.
Okay, and,
I'm Naomi Gonzalez, the nurse at Folk.
okay. Okay, your packet that I've prepared for you is, we want you to understand the purpose of the SHAC. And I'm going to go over what's in your folder, then we'll kind of go over things. So the first thing in your folder is the agenda that you got in the email with the laws about posting it and all that stuff, like, you know, what we did before the meeting. Then the yellow page is just a short history of SHAC. It started in 2001 with Senate Bill 18, and Rances Pass started theirs in May. Is that the 18th? I don't have my glasses on. 2004. So we were three years late after it was implemented as law. Sometimes it takes a while for it to filter down to the district. So we've been having it for quite a while. We've had very successful SHACs, huge SHACs. They've changed the laws where right now the majority have to be parents, but back then you had the police, the clergy, senior citizen, you know, representative from so many, and teachers and parents. But now, and you can still add those, you know, if we want to add more later. But right now, the law does require we have at least 5, and the majority of them have to be parents. Food services is a big part of SHAC, and their wellness program has to be approved by SHAC is it 3 years, Socorro? Do you know for sure? It seemed like Linnell was doing it like every year, but it's 3 years, I think. So every 3 years we have to review the wellness plan, which is the square meals plan. So they're always part of our SHAC in case parents have questions that they want to ask. Then the next part is from our service center in Corpus. Throughout the state, there's educational service centers to help school districts interpret laws, and so schools belong to it, and then they will have workshops, and you can go over to the service center and learn about the laws that they're having. And this is just what they had on their website, which I thought was pretty good, so I put that in there for you. Then there's this other thing that I'm gonna talk to you about that I don't know if you want to print it. It's 50 pages. If you can download it and be happy with it, but if you want it printed, I can probably get it printed. But this is put out by the Texas Department of Health, and school districts get the health part of it gets all their laws from Texas Department of State Health Services. Then it's given to the districts, and they take the interpretation of the law and tweak it however they want it to apply to their district. But they can't change the law, but they can add to it or something like that. So they do mandate the health service department. And I'll be honest with you, part of that is because TEA, the Texas Education Agency that we get all of our laws from, they were not too good about interpreting the health part of it. So, and we had a registered nurse at TEA that was the representative. But when she left, then, you have so many people come in and they really don't know everything, and they start making decisions and they don't know all the little ins and outs and everything. So the Department of State Health Services, they gave all that authority to them. So they make all the laws for the nurses, immunization schedules, and all those kind of things that has to do with health. But they're also in our book, in the policy book for the school from this. And when you look at this, if you download it, it's very informational, but you remember this is for the whole state of Texas. So it's for big districts and small districts, districts with a lot of money, a lot of staff. And you'll see that there's opportunity for SHACs to be very involved, fundraisers and stuff like that. But don't get all nervous or excited either one, because it's kind of hard for a small group to do that kind of stuff. But they do give you the opportunity if you want to in the future do it. So it's just be interesting to read if you don't mind. But if you want a copy of it, I'll start running you off a copy. But that's the address right there in blue if you want to download that. So the purpose of the SHAC is it's required that each school district establish a local school health advisory council to assist the district in ensuring that local community values are reflected in the district's health education instruction. And so you don't set policy, and but what they might ask us to do is review something and you represent the community, and then we would give our report to the board. This is how the parents feel about this particular situation. A lot of people that get on the SHAC come in with a mission, and I can tell y'all are not that way, but we've had, and they were like grandparents, and they were in there to change everything, sorry, that's my husband. So they're, we're going to change the food policy, and they wanted to do this, and what people don't understand is we're guided by laws, and the food services has laws that they have to go to and things they have to abide with. And so it's not anything we can change. We can do things to tweak it or to help them or enhance it or whatever, but we can't change anything that's already set in law and we're doing. So, on this, I'm going to give you another sheet of paper. If you'll pass because it says right there that what I just read to you, that the education code, and it says EHAA, and so I printed that for you, and that in a nutshell pretty much tells you what your responsibilities are. But again, I'm going to let y'all read all that and think about it. But these are the things that we comply by law in. And these things are already established. But these are the types of things that you would be having part in if they change the law or they change in the law or whatever. So this is... when you see these sheets like this where it says Kansas ISD and it says EHAA, that comes right out of the policy book for the district. And then at the bottom, you can tell when they have revised it or when they are reissuing it. See, this was just revised January 4th of this year. So, all right. So, what we want to get from you is the commitment to sit on this committee, but we have to have everybody approved by the board because you are an advisory to the board. But don't worry, in 44 years I've been here, they've always approved everybody we submitted. Because and everybody's been on the committee has been good people. It's just that, grandparents are kind of, they love those grandkids. You know, and they were there fighting for them, and there's nothing wrong with that, except we had to refocus them, and then they didn't have, you know, as much interest in our committee as they thought they would, you know, so. But anyways, so you will go before the board your names will go before the board on the 27th. Okay. And so by law, we have to have 4 SHAC committees a year. So Connie and I have been here long enough, and we're on every committee. These 2 ladies have come in because our food service manager left a couple of years ago. But we're from the original. It's my husband. He doesn't usually contact me during the day. But anyway, so we're the last of the original SHAC. And when we had parents, then when the law changed and they wanted parents to run it, you know, you have to have a parent that's a chair or a co-chair. So y'all think about that. And so, you know, we get that. And then if they're not interested and they don't want to keep it going, it's hard to keep it going. So we're trying to restructure it and reorganize it again with parents who are really dedicated to the needs of these children in this district. So that being said, your names will go before the board, and then after you read all this and you have any questions, or if you have a question about something that you're interested, you don't understand, or you don't know if we're doing it or what we're doing, we can have somebody from that department come in and be the speaker that month and explain things too, because we want y'all to be educated so you can make good choices for the district. But basically that's what we have today, is to give you all this information. And if you have any questions, I will field questions.
Do you understand the overall, I mean, it's policy. Of course, what we're guided by in school districts is district policy, is board policy. And what the SHAC, you know, things like dealing with bullying, dealing with mental health awareness on campuses, some of our programs to address those things. We bring that information to you, and then we can make suggestions to the district of things we might want to see in there. And then the food services, they'll inform us of the nutritional value of the meals and things like that, just so you're informed and we know what's going on in our cafeterias and with the meal programs. And they do have a lot of laws and regulations that they have to follow, which might help you be informed. You may want to know, well, why do they serve this, or why are the portions this size? They can tell you those things. Then you can make recommendations, and we can talk about. But the policies are here and laid out of what we have to follow and what we discuss. But you know, if we're in a committee meeting and you have something that's been brought to your attention, or something you want to ask, we can bring it up and talk about it. It may not be anything that we can discuss or really make any kind of movement on, but we can talk about it in here, and then, you know, find the right people that we can do. But it's pretty much anything to do with overall health and wellness, well-being of our students and staff of our school district is what we would discuss. And Sally's giving you all this information, knowing the big broad picture of what you can go back and as you're reading through some of these things, you can probably get some more of the definite details. And today was just kind of, you know, putting it out there. We have to get members in place, and your names have to go to the board. So then you're appointed by the board to be on this committee, to be able to hear all the information and make recommendations to make it official. And we're required to have a minimum of 4, you know, meetings. And this year we want to get our 4 in, and then we'll be able to set up next year where we do maybe 2 in the fall and 2 in the spring. So it's not a big time consuming, but it does have some importance, and it has some really overarching topics, you know, that affect the campuses when you look at it and you see some of the things. I just threw out a couple, but anything, again, like I said, that deals with the overall health and wellness of our students and staff is what we can talk about, and what we can help guide possibly and make some recommendations to the district that gets taken to the board. So that's what we're looking for, and it's an important committee in the district, and we've got to get it back on track to where it should be. And that's what we're initially getting started. And hopefully, over the next 2 or 3 meetings we have, we'll be in a good place to really get, move forward with it next year and hope the commitment's there that we can do what we need to do. So that's what we're going to use the rest of this year, is just getting it back in order, getting our members, making sure we understand what our purpose is, so we'll be able to really take it and move forward next year. And we won't have these 2 young ladies with us, so we'll have to all be paying attention.
So the main thing is that you're an advisory to the board. You do not make policies, and I can't stress that enough to make sure y'all understand that, because that's where people get upset with us when we tell them, no, we don't make policies.
Yeah, that's perfect, because I don't feel qualified to make any policy changes.
So when they want us, and they may have a topic that they want our input on, and then when we were doing a curriculum years ago, we were looking at health curriculums, and so we, over like 3 or 4 meetings, we brought different people in to present health programs so we could make a decision what we thought would be best for our students. And so we ended up, they went with our recommendation after we had visited, had them come in and do an in-service of what their programs would do for our kids and stuff like that. So we're glad to have speakers come in on any topic that you want, or if you see topics you think we're supposed to be overseeing that you want information on, we can also have people come in and address that for you, so you know, because I don't know everything that's going on, either. So, but if y'all certainly have anything you want to discuss, we'll try to do our best to do that. But we will have to approve the wellness program before the school's out, either next meeting or week meeting after next. Is that good for y'all?
That's fine.
Yeah. So, but what I would like to do is why I put the calendar in there is for us to, is 4 o'clock a good time for everybody? Corey?
My schedule changes constantly, so yes, 4 o'clock would be fine.
I mean, we can have it at 9 o'clock in the morning, or we can have it anytime during the day. And we try to do Wednesdays because sports are every other evening, and it would be hard to get people to come. So looking at that, this is March the 8th. It's my son's 50th birthday. And so I'm thinking in 2 weeks on the 22nd, can y'all have your wellness program ready for us to view? Is that too soon?
The what day?
The 22nd?
Wednesday. It's good for us, yeah.
The
Okay.
22nd or 29th? 29th would be 2 days after the board.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the 29th because we have to take y'all to the board. Wayne and I talked about that over and over, and here I am trying to.
No, then that'll be perfect.
The 29th, yeah. Because y'all be approved on the 27th, yes. So that would be the second one. And then, would the 12th of April be okay for the next one? We'll just have them every 2 weeks and get them over with, because we don't want to have any in May, because May gets so hairy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm free whenever.
Okay, so let's do the next one on the 12th of April. So that would be the third one. And then the fourth one, want to do like May the 3rd, or y'all want to just finish it to 26th of April?
I say the 26th.
Okay, yeah.
Because we're gonna have some caterings coming up.
Yeah, I know it gets really busy. I'm
Sometimes
for
Wednesdays.
that. I'm for doing it every 2 weeks and getting it over with. Okay, so then that will be our fourth one. And then it will go before the board, our report will go before the board in May, and then we'll be done with that part of it.
Which we are required to do an annual report. We will give the annual report unless April wants to go, and we'll give the annual report, just tell them what we've been doing, and as the years go, or as we discuss things, there'll be different topics we'll take to the board, and just kind of tell them what was covered throughout the year.
Perfect. Oh, and then when we come, after you're approved, then we'll come back and have y'all either be a chair or a co-chair, because that's by law, we have to have that. But we have to have your commitment before we can take you before the board and then come back and do that. Do y'all know any of these other people that signed up? Ulisa Yardley?
Yeah,
Kat was gonna be absent,
she's having a baby right now,
and
isn't she?
Lenore.
I think she just had a
She
baby.
just,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the one, yeah, they're going into labor tomorrow, she said, is what she told me, I
I
remember.
thought she just
I
had.
think she went.
Don't you remember?
Yes, I think she just had the
All right,
baby.
good for her, yeah. And then Lenore Flores or Lucas, I'm not sure which it is. Kaylee Liska, and then Lori Davila, they all signed up and they did not show up today, so hopefully they will show up again. But we will send the agenda and their wellness plan ahead of time, so you'll have time to look at it, like I did with the notification of the meeting. And that way y'all will, can have questions if you need questions answered, or help them get their part of their law accomplished. Okay, any questions?
I was just gonna say, you made a comment about that you fall under, of course, the, Texas Department of Health, and, we're talking about TEA, but, Child Nutrition Department falls under USDA and TDA, which is Texas Department of Agriculture.
Agriculture, yeah.
So it's like, we all have an umbrella, we all fall under,
Yeah.
and, you know, so.
Now, those people make the laws and the schools then put them in their laws, but they
You can
can't
always
change
look
them.
that up and find out what it's all about.
Yeah, so there's a lot of law finding out there, yeah, so.
And we have to have officers, like she said, we need to have somebody be a chair, but we wouldn't leave you out there for you to have to come up with agendas and all that. You would just chair the meeting, but we would discuss with the chair prior to the meeting some of the topics we're going to cover, so they can be informed, you know, and come help, you know, basically run, not run the meeting, but have a part in running the meeting and be informed before. But we wouldn't just leave you out there to do it, so.
And we'll need a secretary too, so we need a chair and a co-chair and a secretary, because those minutes have to be posted also.
You sound like a good chair.
Because I'm like, I don't ask me to be a secretary, I can barely run my own stuff.
So,
Luckily, I have a lot of, dealing with dishes, because that's where all my laws come from, is DSHS.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
I'm all about reading their stuff.
Yeah, so, well, Corey, do you have any questions on it?
Nope.
No, okay.
No,
I'm gonna have to do some.
Well, y'all got some homework,
yes.
and like I said, if you can download it, and, but if you can't download it and you want a hard copy, let me know and I will. I just didn't wanna run these all off because it's colored, and if it's in color, I don't like to print it black and white because I think it loses its presentation. And it does cost us a little bit to do it in color, but I will do it if y'all do choose not, if you would like a hard copy to have, so.
Is it
email
something
me.
that we're gonna go back and forth to a lot?
No, it just has all the laws in it.
Okay.
And everything you can do to do things with, and, well, like.
You may reference it from time to time.
Yeah.
But
It
if y'all
says-
want a copy, we'll gladly.
Yeah, it says, the table of contents is resources about this guide, acknowledgement, introduction, background, roles of School Health Advisory Council, starting with reviews of School Health Advisory Council, quantities of School Health Advisory Council and members, School Health Advisory Council members, School Health Advisory bylaws, strategic planning process, effective School Health Advisory meetings, School Health Advisory Council self-assessment, writing School Health Advisory Council success stories, conclusion, appendix, tools.
Can we possibly just have that with us when we meet? Like that copy, just have it here when we meet?
Y'all would like that? Would y'all like that?
Yeah,
easier.
even if,
I'll
yeah,
print
there's
them off at
one,
work.
there you go. Yeah, because even if we just have one to reference, if we need to.
Well, I have this one.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't see the need to spend the money to print that off if we're only gonna really worry about it when we're in here meeting.
yeah. Well, and that's why I say y'all can download it and kind of look at things, but if you wanted a copy, let me know.
Yeah.
But I'll always have this copy if anybody looks at it at home and sees downloaded on something and they want to reference it, so this will always be there.
Yeah, that'd be perfect, I think.
So, okay, so we have our meeting set. We have our committee so far. So I guess I'll just call these others and see if they're committed so we can submit their, Mr. Bennett. And so we can submit their names at the board meeting. So, and if y'all have anybody that you think would be a good board member, SHAC member, you know, if these don't work out, we certainly are open to make sure we have good people on this committee. So,
I already told my wife and she told me no. I'm like, Miss Sally said you had to. And she goes,
And our emails here at the school, if you got a question, our first initial, last name, like mine's wbennett@apisd.org, S. McCutcheon, and so on. If you have a question, you think of anything, email us and we can answer, find an answer, or find whatever you need. So,
I don't think anybody else. Okay. Yeah, because, it's easier if you have more than a few people working and they can.
and if you can't think, I mean, it's not overly time consuming. It's 4 times a year. We'll have agendas, we'll talk about it, discuss it, make any recommendations, and, that's what we'll do.
You just have to have somebody that's doing your leadership to make sure they stay on task and don't let somebody run off their mouth, just, on and on and on and on and on and on, because we don't want to waste your time. And I'm good about that, saying, you're off topic right now, let's get back to what we're doing, So you need somebody that can do that, because you don't want to waste a lot of time listening to how this, and this. So y'all think about that, so. Okay, if you don't have any questions, then it's 28 minutes, so that's good. Half hour, that's what I told Mr. Bennett, half hour. Well, thank y'all so much for coming and so much for your interest in the students here. We have a good school district and we have a lot of good kids here, and we just want to do the best for them that we can. So that's why I've been here so long, because I've loved my job. I'm going to give y'all one of my business cards with my phone number.